Hello and welcome back to Engineering 101, Lecture 11-10 of Sense Plan Act, final week for Engineering 101. We have a few more robots to go, but in Lecture 11-9, we showed our Arduino Lilybot button control. So let's go over the code. So at the very top, we always put our global variables. The hardware connections are first. So for the TB6612 motor controller, we have A and 1 on pin 13, A and 2 on pin 12, PWMA on pin 10, PWMB on pin 10, bin 2 on pin 9, bin 1 on pin 8. Note that we had to put two PWMs on pin 10 because we did not have enough PWM pins to also run the sonar, which ends up being to also run the buzzer, which ends up being on pin 11. So the left and right motors will then be controlled, and then we'll have three buttons to indicate what button has been pressed in the motion. So green button pin 7, yellow button pin 6, red button pin 5, and green LED pin 4, yellow LED pin 3, red LED pin 2. Then we also make an array of the button pin LED pins because we sometimes need to control multiple LEDs at once or to declare them all on, or in a for loop, setting them all as outputs. So then we have a few more global variables, which represent things like robot speed, wait times, turn times, backup time, etc. And then similar to our last Arduino code, we also will have a song. So we have a global variable for the tempo, global variable for the character notes, for the beats for each note in the song, as well as the octave, the frequencies, etc. So all of this is just for the music. Finally, the setup function is for things that run once. So this is where we declare our inputs and outputs for our Arduino Uno. The green button, yellow button, and the red button have an input pull-up because they need to have a 10K in series with them so that you don't have a floating pin. The red, green, and yellow LEDs are outputs. All of the pins for the motor controller are also outputs. The buzzer pin is an output. And then at the very beginning, we run code to make sure everything's working. So we drive the robot forward, turn all three LEDs on, play the buzzer, wait 1 second, then turn the LEDs off, turn the buzzer off, and stop. Finally, we write to the serial monitor to infinity and beyond because we use the serial monitor on to test that the code is working properly. And then down here in our loop function, if the green button is pressed, the robot drives forward and backwards and plays a song and dances. If the yellow button is pressed, the robot will spin left or right. If the red button is pressed, the robot will reverse. And if no button is pressed, all the LEDs turn off. These last lines down here are a repeat from our last Arduino Uno code, which is basically the stop function, the forward function, the reverse function, and the spin function with a direction passed in where 1 or 0 would represent either turning left or turning right. And then also a repeat down here from our header function from before is playing the song, declaring the frequency. And down here, we also have other global variables for things such as another spin function, set motor right, set motor left, etc. This concludes Engineering 101, Lecture 10 on Sense Plan Act for creating robot behaviors, remote control robots, semi-autonomous robots, fully autonomous robots. Please come back for more. Stay fantastic and make sure you like, share, and comment.